I want you to imagine this. A woman is sitting in a meeting. She is experienced, capable, respected. But today, her brain is foggy. Her confidence has disappeared. Her body is doing things she can't explain. She's trying to contribute to hold it all together and not let anyone see how hard she's working just to look normal. Maybe she forgets a word mid-sentence. Maybe she goes quiet. Maybe she stops putting her hand up. And too often, the workplace writes the wrong story. She's disengaged, she's emotional, she's difficult, she's irritable, she's not performing. But what if she's none of those things? What if she's navigating perimenopause or menopause without language, support, or a safe place to say, something strange is happening to me? That is why I built Hot, Foggy and Fabulous. I'm Susan Judd, founder of HFF. I built this brand in my late 50s post-menopause from regional New South Wales while running 2 other businesses. So no, I'm not exactly a young startup stereotype, and honestly, I'm fine with that. Hot, Foggy and Fabulous is not your typical wellness brand. It is a rebellion with a pulse. It was built around a conversation most workplaces, families, and let's face it, women were still avoiding: menopause. Not as a punchline, not as a private women's issue, not as something to quietly manage in the bathroom, the car, the kitchen, or behind a turned-off camera. As a real leadership, retention, communication, and culture issue. In 2025, I ran the Hot, Foggy and Fabulous research project. More than 200 Aussie women shared what midlife was doing to their bodies, minds, relationships, and careers. The stories were raw, honest, and impossible to ignore. 80% reported brain fog. 80% had lost confidence in their professional ability. 60% were avoiding opportunities at work. 35% wanted to leave work altogether. And more than 22% had already reduced their hours or changed roles or left work. And only a tiny 8.7% had ever asked for workplace support. That last number should stop every person in their tracks. This is not women lacking ambition. This is women lacking language, safety, and support. This is where Hot, Foggy and Fabulous does things differently. We give women the words, we give men and partners a way into the conversation, and we give workplaces tools so they don't jump to conclusions, write the wrong performance story, or mistake fluctuating capacity for lost capability. Because a woman has not lost her mind, although she might feel like it, she has not lost her value, and she has not lost her place at the table. She may have lost capacity for a transition period, and capacity can be supported. That's why I created the 3S framework: safe, supported, and sustainable. Safe enough to speak, supported enough to stay, sustainable enough to keep contributing without burning out or disappearing. In 12 months, Hot, Foggy and Fabulous has grown from research into 2 ISBN registered works, a registered trademark, 2 trademark pending frameworks, a journal, reflection cards, workplace tools, keynote content, a women's community, and 4 different revenue streams. We've secured 12 stockists across 11 locations in Australia and New Zealand after my first trade show. HFF has been featured in mainstream media, shared through podcasts, and taken onto keynote stages, including Business Summit, Hot and Bothered, and Mind, Body, Spirit Festival. But the numbers are not the point. The point is the woman who says, I thought it was just me. The point is the partner who says, I didn't know how much I didn't know. The point is the leader who pauses before calling something a performance issue and asks a better or a different question. That's the shift. That's the rebellion. I believe I should win the Raw Awards Business Rebel of the Year 2026 because Hot, Foggy and Fabulous is challenging a silence that has cost women far too much, not just in careers, income or confidence, but in how they see themselves. This rebellion gives women the words, gives men and partners a way in, and gives workplaces the tools to have the conversation without making it awkward, dismissive, or damaging. It's practical, it's personal, and it's long overdue. And before I finish, I want to say thank you to every woman who participated so wholeheartedly in the Hot, Foggy and Fabulous research. Without you, this rebellion would not have started. Your honesty, your stories, and your courage gave this work its heart. Through your voices, you gave me purpose, and I am deeply grateful.